Buff Nation, what up? Give me a second. Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. Welcome to TLP Live. I'm your host, Harry Billion. All right, so we got to go live to talk about this. It is being reported that the Colorado Buffs has announced, maybe not announced, but it's being reported that Colorado has a new DC. And I had to rush back to the computer to talk about this. And I'm going to give a little bit of time for some people to come in because this is a kind of like impromptu live. And not too many people knew that I was going to go live. So let's allow some people to come in. And the door, welcome to the show. Hit that like button. If everybody hits the like button, then more people will kind of see that we are live and they'll come on. But yeah, we went live today, and we talked extensively because, yeah, I know I've been on the air all day, bro, Tim. We went live today almost over 3 hours, close to 4 hours, waiting for that news to drop, and then they dropped the news. Like, we were speculating how it was going to be done. How my man East Coast Cav saying, yo, what if Coach Prime wrote it out like Shiloh, puts it in the Super Bowl commercial, sitting next to his DC? It didn't happen that way. All of our speculations were blown out the gate, out the window, and it came like midnight mail. Just out of the blue. Okay? It's being reported now. Like, Coach Prime hasn't come out and said it yet. This is being reported. I want to make sure that I make that very clear. Johnny S. Garlington, what up? I want to make sure I make this very clear that Coach Prime has not come out yet to say it, but it's being reported that Colorado has the new DC. If you're just coming into the building, guys, hit that like button. Let's get the show rolling. Let's get more people watching. I don't want to get too deep into it. It's a live show, so I want to get more people watching. I have to apologize to the people that are going to watch it after the live because you got to kind of sit through all of this introductory stuff. All right, Tim. If you think it's a good reason, then you know what to do. Guys, if you want to have your voice heard, if you want to join the conversation, right here, join tlplive@gmail.com. That is the email that you email. That's the call-in, and I'm going to send you a link. If you are new to the show, and hopefully a lot of people are off work. I don't know what you guys doing on the West Coast, but right now it is 8:37 on the East Coast. That's New York City time. I usually know what time it is. If I'm starting at 12 o'clock, then I know it's 9 o'clock. So it must be 5 o'clock, 5:37 on the West Coast, I think. If I'm mistaken, let me know, guys. But yeah, man, I want to talk about it. So if you want to join the conversation, guys, join tlplive@gmail.com is the email that you email, and then I'm going to send you a link. So before I get started, guys, let's wait just a few more seconds here, not minutes, but a few more seconds to let more people come into the show. And because I do want to like have a few opinions. Shirley Kimball, how you doing? Do you think the move was for Travis and his son to give them a run start to the NFL? Absolutely not. Obviously, we just found out. So a lot of the opinions are just going to be kind of like preliminary opinions. Nobody's had time to really do any type of research. And if you think it's a great move, call into the show, guys. I want to hear you articulate why you think it's a great move. But So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste too much time. I know people got things to do, but so okay. Yeah. Sorry guys. So I was out handling some business, and I had to rush back home to get this live going. So right now I'm kind of like flustered a little bit, trying to get my thoughts together, trying to get everything. I was rehearsing in the car when I was driving, trying to make sure I don't hit nobody hits me. But I'm like, okay, so we gotta handle this with care. we, we gotta handle this with a certain amount of decorum, and and I hope that I do a good job narrating that. And so let's go. All right, so let's get started. What's your opinion on it? DJ One says, "What's your opinion?" I'm about to give my opinion. Um, okay, let's go. All right, let's get this thing off the screen here. Oh, let me show you. Okay, I'm just gonna take this off the screen so you guys jot down the email. Join tlplive@gmail.com is right there on your screen. If you want to call into the show, if you want to voice your opinion on this DC pick and join the conversation, join tlplive@gmail.com. I'm taking this off the screen so that we can go ahead and jump into the show. All right. So Robert Livingston leaving for Colorado Buff. Reports. Okay. Per reports. He's right down on my screen. I don't know what I'm looking for. All right, so let's see. Who specifically is Robert uh Livingston? Let me put my glasses on. All right, so according to, if I mess this up live, guys, let me know. According to Ian Rappaport and Matt Zenitz, Bengals safeties secondary coach Robert Livingston is heading to the college ranks to be the new Colorado Buffaloes defensive coordinator under Deion Sanders. Livingston just wrapped up his 9th season as a coach in the Queen City, as he was one of the team's longest tenured assistants. He originally joined the franchise for the 2012 season as a scout, then became a defensive quality control coach and a special teams assistant in 2015. Livingston was promoted to assistant defensive backs coach in 2016, secondary coach in 2017, and then became the safety secondary coach in 2018. Livingston would be the second coach to depart the Bengals staff this offseason after offensive coordinator Brian Callahan was tapped to be the Tennessee Titans' next head coach. But best of luck to Coach Livingston in Boulder. All right, so these are the tweets from Matt Zenitz, and that would be Ian Rappaport. So if you guys know these guys, I just want to make sure that we're not jumping the gun here and just talking about stuff that Coach Prime hasn't put his stamp on here. So I just want to treat it as such. This is being reported by insiders, so that's how we're going to handle it. This is not official from Coach Prime and the university. They obviously have to do their due diligence, or they have to, they'll roll it out the way that they're going to roll it out. But if the news is correct, if Matt and what's the name is correct, then this is the guy that we're getting. So let's go ahead and have a discussion about it. Let me I got my guy Tim wants to come on and talk about it. And what are your opinions? Because a couple of you guys have already said that it's a good decision, and I'll say this. Coach Prime is our coach. Coach Prime is our head coach, and he's done this before. This is like he always tells us he ain't new to this. He's true to this. So anything that our head coach does, we respect it. We trust, and we trust the prospect, the process. We respect the process, and we're going to ride with Coach Prime. Any decision that he's making, he is making it because he's in that position and he knows what he's doing. So we trust that. So we're going to handle it as such. Now, with that being said, I want to take a more critical look and have a more critical conversation about the pick, or about the potential pick that is coming. I want to know what you guys think out there. Like I said, if you want to come on here and you want to, instead of being in the chat, you want to come on here, you want to voice your opinion about what's going on. These are obviously just going to be opinions. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. This is just going to be, what I'm saying, just what do we think? We don't matter as much, but we are the fans, so whatever we say is just how the fans are feeling out there, and everybody has their say. So let's go ahead and discuss it. Um, I guess before Tim comes on, whenever he's ready, my opinion to and is okay. He's the experience is coming from coaching the safeties, and as far as coaching the safeties is concerned, I have I would say some concerns, and the concern is that we are getting somebody who's not experienced in play calling for the entire defense, and it's he's stepping into a pressure cooker type of situation when you are a positions coach. As far as, like, I mean, it's the NFL, so obviously the pressure, he should be used to the pressure because it's the NFL. But I think the college football crowd and the college football audience are different. The pressure is going to feel and look different. So he's stepping into a situation without play calling experience, and we are going into our second year. So being that we are going into our second year, having a non-experienced type of guy, it's you only have questions like, okay, how is it going to work out? Now, there are pros and cons to what I'm thinking. I would say a pro would be the fact that he is a pro, the fact that he's coached the safeties in the NFL. He's coming from the NFL pressure cooker, so he understands the level at which we're trying to be at. He's already there. I don't know. He's not necessarily, I would say, a direct link to the NFL, because, I mean, at this point, coming from an NFL team, yeah, you may have that connection and the people there because I guess you've been there for, they say you're the highest tenured guy. So the longest tenured guy. So I would say, okay, maybe that would be that. That could be a positive for an NFL in, because sometimes some of your guys don't get invitations to the combines, or they don't get invitations, like, because they have so many people on the that they have to adhere to, because you got connections all around, like the SEC. There's the Big Ten. There's the other conferences with elite players that some of these people have to, like, it's almost like, okay, quit. It's like they have to do it. Okay, so with the rosters being filled or with the spots being taken, you kind of say, okay, maybe he can say, hey, let's get him on the practice squad because I know that guy. Let's get him in there. So that's a pro. There's a few cons where I'm just like, okay, so how do we do as far as a new guy having to run this defense of a lot of new guys? That's one thing to think about as well. We're getting almost, we're not replacing the entire defensive line, but we're getting a lot of new guys on the defensive line. So now we're getting a guy who I guess he will understand, because he's coached in the NFL. That's all I have to go off. It's like, okay, how much do we lean on the fact that he's coached in the NFL versus not necessarily having DC experience? that's where I'm at with it. Like, how do we handle that? So let me get a little bit of help with from Tim. Tim, thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for having me on this evening again.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been busy all day, man. So
Right.
I had to rush home to do this. Okay, so you said it's a great pick. Why do you think it's a
hmm
great pick?
Well, it's a few factors that I feel like, why he would be a great pick. For one, his age, he's young. Um, he can relate to a lot of players as far as the recruiting aspect. Um, I feel like, he knows the NFL and what NFL teams are looking for out of college players. So he was a recruiter also for the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm.
So if you go back and and dig up uh, some stuff about him, like he recruited. I mean, not recruited, but well, yeah, recruited a lot of uh, players from the SEC and the ACC. So he went after a lot of players out of from Alabama, um, Georgia, um, etc. Man, so he may not have the DC capability of running the. I mean, calling plays, but
The
he's
experience.
he has that experience. Like they secondary, if you think about it, or I mean, you follow NFL, but
Hmm.
the Cincinnati Bengals secondary man is amazing, bro. Like what 2 or 3 years ago, they were a no-fly zone. Like they was ranked what number 3 in the NFL uh, as far as passing.
Hmm.
So, and I think this past season they were ranked number 8 uh, as well. So that secondary is gonna be even tighter than what we seen last season. I feel like he's gonna make Shador better, a better safety.
Shiloh,
Um,
you mean Shiloh?
yeah, Shiloh, excuse me, Shiloh, better safety. I feel like he's gonna bring Carmoni up to speed a lot faster. I feel like he's going to be able to help him out in certain aspects. I feel like he's going to be able to, even though we all think that Travis Hunter is just this dynamic, amazing DB, which I agree, but I feel like he's going to be able to give him some pointers that's going to raise his level of play as well. But this is just apparently the DC that they're going to bring in. But who's going to be the linebackers coach? Who's going to be the D line coach? You know what I mean? Once you factor all three of those in together, I feel like it could be something dynamic.
Mm. So we don't know much about this guy. So obviously we just got the news. So it's hard to articulate how we really look at this
hmm
because okay, so we were told that this is going to be mind blowing, right? This is going to be
hmm
like your mind would be blown, you know, by the guy from 247 Sports, and he had the three emojis or two emojis of the blown mind and whatever. Do you
hmm
consider this to be that mind blown decision, or this is a good safe decision?
I feel like it's a good safe decision. I can't say that it's a mind blowing decision or pickup just for the simple fact that he was in a DC in the NFL, which
Hmm.
that's what we were all as fans looking forward to. Like, we was looking for uh that big name DC that seen a lot of NFL, that maybe been a head coach uh in the NFL as well as excuse me, a DC as well. So
Mm.
I mean I feel like it's pros and cons to it, but I don't have enough information on Livingston But I do know that he does recruit. He was a recruiter for Cincinnati, so he recruited heavily out of the SEC and the ACC. Uh, and but I feel like he's gonna be able to uh, handle that DC position, man. Honestly, that's just my personal opinion. This guy he coming from the NFL, but he gonna have a lot of eyes on him. I know that much.
I
How
mean,
long
yeah,
he'll spend
in
there?
these next few days, he's going from obscurity to front line and everything because everybody's going to be if the all of the creators that create for Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes are going to be talking about this guy, including myself right now. But I have some reservations, and I'll tell you why I have some reservations because we're going into a situation where this is year two. All right.
Hmm.
I don't know much about this guy, so I'm not, I don't have that much to say yet. But I'm gonna dig in. You know how I do it here, but
Right.
I feel like um, something happened. If we're supposed to be mind blown, this is not the mind blown guy. They never said a name, so I know somebody said that it was supposed to be Mike Zimmer or somebody. They never said her name, so we don't know who it was or who it's supposed to be, unless you got inside information. I don't have inside information to know who it was, but I think some, something happened where the person that was tapped, the original person that was supposed to blow our mind, I think this is just my opinion. I think they wanted a little bit more control to pick their guy because you got to keep in mind, Coach Prime said that this person has to come in, plug and play, not necessarily having that much control to do it to wiggle. So conversations had to happen that where this person that was being tapped, where this person that's supposed to come in, that's supposed to blow our mind, something had to fall through for that not to transpire, for that not to materialize, or whatever the word is. Okay, so we're getting this guy because he is the safe bet. I hope you understand where I'm going with this. I hope you understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Yeah, I
Uh,
do.
I don't mind the safe bet, but my concerns of everything we talked about as far as how we're going to handle the Big 12 being heavy, a run heavy conference, and being able to stop the run. How how poorly we played in 2023, where guys were just having NFL type games on our defense, where Arizona took the last 6 minutes of the game and just scored and then scored a field goal. I'm
Hmm.
concerned because when you have a guy who has experience as a coach but does not have play calling experience and has not been in the hot seat, that boiling seat, like forget about hot, like boiling seat of a defensive coordinator, it concerns me because the guy that left the position, he had that experience. And you know what I'm saying? And then there was times where he felt like he was lost on that sideline, where they were calling penalties because of too many guys on the field.
Hmm.
Just the more experienced guy looked a little bit lost. Now you're going to put a guy in who's a safeties coach without that much experience. How is that pressure going to hit? How is he going to handle that pressure, and how is that pressure going to hit him?
Um, I'm not 100% sure how he would handle that. You know what I mean? I can't really speak for him, but I guess
What do you think? How do you think? How do you think he handles that pressure? And we're getting an experienced guy who almost got bottled up by the pressure, and now we're
mhm.
getting a guy without that much of experience. And
I
I'm not
guess
disparaging. I'm not disparaging the pick. I'm
mhm.
I'm taking a more critical That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. I mean, I agree with you on that. But there's also some more key factors that are missing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? In order to help him be that or classify him as the perfect fit. I say it that way.
Mhm.
For the DC. I mean, I'm just uh speculating, but if if he was to bring in a SAP as the O lines coach and
Mhm.
bring in a Ray Lewis as the linebacker coach.
Was Sapp your
Now,
O line coach or D line coach?
I mean D line coach
Okay.
and Ray Lewis as I'm just using this as an example. Ray Lewis as a linebackers coach. How would you
Mhm.
feel then? Because you bringing in a guy that has uh the third best secondary in the NFL in the National Football League. The one year ranked third, another year ranked eighth. Like that's hard to do
Mhm.
in the NFL. You know what I mean? Everybody pros. So um
But we're not
in
just
that
dealing with the secondary. Now he's got the keys to the whole defense, not just the secondary, the
right,
whole line now, the defensive line, and
right,
he's got the whole thing. He has to call the plays as as they come to him as fast as they're going to come to him. Now,
right.
I want to answer this question about he's coming from the NFL. If the NFL is not pressure, I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm not saying the NFL is not pressure. Uh,
It's a lot of
it's
pressure.
they obviously, yeah, the NFL is a lot of pressure. That's where you end up. All right, East Coast
Right.
Cab, I thank you so much for the super chat. Not beat. No official announcement was made yet. I mean, yeah, that's how I'm treating it. I just want everybody to understand. I am treating this not as an official announcement. These are just reports. I said that in the beginning, and that's exactly how I'm treating it. But whoever,
Speculations.
right, we're speculating here based on the reports, but whoever is chosen, we're going to do the same thing. We'll give it the same treatment. We'll take a critical look, good or bad. We're going to talk about it. So yeah, so go ahead, man.
But yeah, I don't I think, like I said a second ago, once those other key factors get put in play and in the right spot, I feel more comfortable uh, with him as a DC. But I feel like he knows enough football uh, uh, to uh, to handle this on a college level. You know what I mean? What he may bring
But
to the
but
table.
but push back a little bit because
Hmm.
anybody that we get, are we saying he knows enough football? Is that how we're treating it? Is that fair to say that he knows enough football? I'm just pushing back just because. Like
Well, I would
if
say he's seen. Okay, they want to go to this NFL style of play, right?
hmm
He's seen enough NFL offenses, which colleges or well NFL are starting to run a lot of the college plays.
mm.
Uh, if you watch that, uh, so I feel like that he would do good. He's seen enough offense to know how to read offenses and how to make uh, decisions quickly. He's a young man. Mind is sharp. So um, not only that, with teaching the players uh, how to read offenses as well. So it doesn't lean up on him so heavily.
hmm
Shiloh, he's smart. He was calling out different defenses last year. So
hmm
I feel like with his his brain and to teach that to Shiloh, uh, I feel like it's gonna be a good fit, man. Honestly.
So Shantae is saying who's reporting this. So the reports are coming from Ian Rappaport. I mean, I've heard the name several times, Ian Rappaport. So, and then from Matt Zenitz, um, obviously you can't use the blue check as a thing anymore because you only pay what, $8 to get it, $8 a month to get it now. So that's not anything specific anymore. But the rap sheet and M Zenitz, but yeah, so these guys should be insiders that you know that kind of follow the sport and they keep an eye on the streets and they should know what's going on. So, but these, like, I'm treating this. I want everybody to please understand. I am only treating this as speculation, as report. This being reported is not. This is not an official announcement from Coach Prime. So I'm not connecting this to Coach Prime yet, per se. We're just taking a critical look and a critical dive on this guy in case what if he becomes the guy. So that's all we're doing. And hasn't he been doing this for 9 years? No, he hasn't. He hasn't been calling a play for 9 years. When you are a position coach, you're not in charge of calling the plays for the defense. So let's just make sure we understand that. Like a safeties coach or a position coach is not a DC. A DC, you have the position coaches under your guidance or under your leadership. Um, and you're controlling the entire defense, and you're the guy that's in charge of reading whatever the offense is giving you, and you're calling plays to counter what the offense is giving you. So it's a different dynamic when you're the guy that's over all of that versus when you have a micro view or POV of taking one section of the defense. And I want to make that clear. I want people to understand that whether this was Coach Prime or anybody else, I don't want for us to not take a critical look because it's Coach Prime and no matter who he had picked, they were going to be superb. I want us to take a critical look so we can say, okay, understanding it from all angles. Our whatever we say here is just the fans talking. Nobody try to take this out of context or anything like that. This is just fan talk. This is not no expert opinions. It's fan talk. So understand that. All right. If you put it in perspective, then we don't necessarily have to shame anyone. We don't have to tell anybody you don't know what you're talking about. Because when you talk at the barbershop, that's what you're doing. It's barbershop talk. So there's no I'm not telling anybody that he's not a good pick or he's the greatest pick. We're treating it just as is. So that's what I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from a experience point. And I want to hear from you in the chat. If you can take off your Coach Prime hat or your shades, those Coach Prime shades for a second, to take a critical look, how do you feel about an inexperienced? I'm going to say those words. How do you feel about an inexperienced DC running the show at DC in year two? The perspective is year two. And in year two, we have to change. We have to go up. If we don't go up in year two, recruiting is going to get more difficult. We're not worried about Coach Prime's job. We're talking about recruiting because everything kind of falls on everything rises and falls on wins and losses. If we don't win, because now a lot of us before this DC was chosen, we were talking about Coach Prime and his team making a great push in the Big 12. And I've been doing a lot of research trying to make sure that I give you all the nitty-gritty stuff about the Big 12. How does this DC report, how does that fit into that 10-2 scheme, that 8-4 scheme? How does that fit into your narrative about how you feel the season is going to go or was going to go? Does that change anything for you? Do we add one or two more wins? Do we take away one or two more wins because of that specific lack of experience? How does that play for you? The NFL pressure cooker is a different pressure cooker than college football pressure cooker. It's different. There has been guys that come from the NFL and they haven't had the success at the college level, and vice versa. Guys will go from college being very successful in college, they'll go to the NFL and they don't know how to deal with the dynamics in the NFL. So it's it's reasonable to say that the two dynamics are different. I understand that the NFL that's where you want to be at. That's the top echelon. That's where everybody from college is trying to get to, and he is an NFL guy. But the college arena is a different type of pressure. Not that it's not pressure in the NFL, but it's a different type of pressure. And that pressure is magnified for the simple fact that you got Coach Prime. You're coming on a Coach Prime team. Other DCs do not get this spotlight that this guy's about to step into. Will not get this spotlight. There's not going to be There's not going to be a multitude of videos made about most DCs. But this guy's coming into a Coach Prime pressure cooker. And just like Coach Prime said in one of his meetings, that this person has to understand the moment, the light that they're stepping into. Because it's not the same. All right. It's different. Like you think you know, but you don't know until you step into it. So that's what I want to get y'all opinions and know what y'all think. Harry, do you have hold on, what is it? Do you have 10 million to pay Mike Zimmer make that much okay, so we didn't have the money to pay Mike Zimmer. Big Reg, I guess that's what you're saying. You're asking me if I got it. I ain't got it. All right. I ain't got it. But if they didn't have it when they hire Coach Prime, I'm sure they'll find it somehow. Livingston has a good rep for developing young players in the league. This is from D Square. Let me just put him up before I read him. He's also closer to this generation and understands the modern day game. All right, so we can use that. Now, earlier, I'm gonna let y'all know. Earlier, somebody said in the earlier show that CU knows how to put the spin on things. We would take anything and put a spin on it and make it feel and look good just because that's our guy. All right, so let's just make sure that we can be objective a little bit without drinking too much of the sauce. And we got to do that. We got to understand who we're getting. Why was this pick chosen? And that's what I want people to understand. Like, why do you think this was chosen? What are the elements or the things, the reasons why you feel like this was the right pick? That's the next question for the chat. Why do our opinion hold so much weight, Harry? I would like to hear this reasoning. I've already said that our opinion has nothing to do with anything. We're fans talking. We're fans talking. The fans, okay, I'll give you this. The fans are the drivers of any type of anything, basically. Your fans are who buy the tickets. Your fans are the ones that are paying for those what do you call them? Your fans buy the merch, they buy the tickets. So your opinion as a fan, it holds a lot of weight because coaches are fired based on fan approval and disapproval. Coaches are fired or hired based on fans' approval or disapproval. So while at the end of the day, you and I really don't matter as far as the organization is concerned, but you matter more than you think. And I know that, we play this game of let's discredit the person talking because they are not NFL, because they never played D1, because they never played football. So let's discredit the person talking. But the universities, all of the teams, they pay attention to how the fans are moving. They have an ear, an eye on the grounds to how the fans are thinking. What are the fan base saying? Believe it or not, people make these universities make decisions based on how the fan base is feeling about a certain person. It happens in all professional sports, college as well. It happens everywhere. You as the fan, you are very important to the bottom line of the team that you're rooting for. So if that answers your question, that's the reason why we matter. If you think we don't matter, they would not put out a long list of of the students, their social media handle, and say follow them if you didn't matter. Okay? In the bigger scheme of things, the most important decisions that are being made, we're not part of that decision making. But at the end of the day, whether we're happy or unhappy, that matters to the team. Hopefully that matters. Hopefully that answers the question that you're asking me. Don't come for me. I'm just a discussion leader. I'm an influencer. That's all I am. I'm an influencer, but I'm responsible with my platform and I'm responsible with my influence. I'm not I'm not a loose influencer. I don't come on here without rational thinking, but I don't drink the sauce and just be like I'm all the way over here or I'm all the way over there. I try to be central and give you a rational thinking. All right, so Rhonda Ma said we just need to get the D line coach announced so they can go to work. The man above that's to keep you engaged for views, which translates to money for the program. Not that hard. Okay. The social media stuff is support. Fans will live with the coaching decisions until reasons not to shown reasons not to. So okay, so that's what I started off with. I started this show off with letting you guys know that Coach Prime is our coach. Coach Prime is our head coach. We respect his decision. We trust what he says, and we are down for the process. We are riding for the process. So that's that. It doesn't matter. Okay, for whatever he says, he knows better than a lot of us. All right. Now, I never played the sport at the D1 level. I played in high school. I played 5 different sports. All right. So I understand how this stuff goes. But as far as like who comes in, who goes out, I'm looking at it from that point where we had Kelly. We had a few coaches leave. I can't tell you whether it was they fell under pressure or what it was that did not communicate that where the communication broke down somewhere. I don't know what it was because you can't tell me that it doesn't matter because coaches change out. Why would a coach leave? Why would they have to change coaches? Because either that coach did not meet the expectations of the head coach or the organization, so they would change that coach out. You get a new coach in. You got to start asking questions. How does this coach fit the environment that we're bringing him in? The culture that's being established here. What culture is he coming from that's gonna help him to fit into our culture? And how well is he going to do? Why did they tap him? What are the reasons? What are the positives and what are the negatives? If you can look at the positives, don't be afraid to look at the negatives. So I see a lot of positives. I see a few negatives. My one biggest negative is just that he has not caught a defense. That's where I'm at with it. The road to his path, like I said, I haven't done the research. I don't know if he's ever, maybe he coordinated in high school somewhere. I don't know yet. Okay, all I know is he's a recruiter. He's a former recruiter. I don't know about the coordination part. So the defensive coordinator is the person. Now that's going to be how much are guys that are much older than him, how much are they going to fit in there with him? That's another question. let me see what you guys are saying. If you know defense, you can call one. Okay, so then I will ask you this question. If you can know defense, you can call one. Coach Prime had a defensive coordinator on his staff from Jackson State. If we're taking that stance, if you know defense, you can call one, then why not promote from within? Why are we going through all of this length, all of this great length, to say if you know defense, you can call one, when Coach Prime knows defense, he can call his own plays? That's one thing. Coach Prime has a DC in-house. How come he can't promote from within? That's another thing. So we can simplify it and just say, okay, we want to protect the ticket. We want to just, we're fine with it. Let's leave it alone. Or you can ask some questions. You can say, well, if that's the case, if it was just about, if you know the defense, you can call it, then why did we take all this time and we just had a couple of people who know defense on the field or on that team? All right, so Shante says the negative is safeties are laser focused on the pass game. He might not be as well-rounded as far as handling the run game. Does that make sense? Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And that's another concern of mine, because the Big 12 runs the ball heavy. And that was one of our Achilles heel last year, that we just had no answer for run offenses. The guys that were running the ball, we had no answers for. So I'm like, we got to get somebody that can stop the run, that understands how to stop the run. So if that's a negative, then yes, it makes sense to say, my guy, hello. How is this gonna gel with a run heavy Big 12? How does that match with our predictions as far as us being able to stop them from scoring? Because the teams that run, their coaches are very meticulous game controllers. They will control every aspect of the game. All right? They play traditional football. All they want to do is win. That's it. And they know how to be meticulous with the little things. They are like scientists when it comes to controlling the little things that happen. If this guy is doing this, let's do this. If this guy, if he's giving us that look, and how many times has he given us that look? Okay, now let's do packages. We're going to roll out this package if we see that again. We're going to roll out this package if we see that specific play again. So DCs are very smart, and then some of these coaches call their own plays. So that's a concern of mine, Shante. That is a concern of mine, just because the Big 12 runs the ball very heavy. Who else is talking in here? What are you saying? I think Livingston's current NFL resume give him the edge against internal hires. Okay, but why? Based on the if you know a defense, you can call a defense. If you had a guy that you went 12-0, right, and a guy that you've already won with, a guy with no experience, he's from the NFL, right? Why does that make them a better hire than within? I don't know that we can have it both ways. Is it that just because we got NFL attached to it, or is it the better person for the job? The person that is defensive minded, that can call and control the environment of the defense. Not a microcosm of the defense, but a visionary, a visualist that can see the entire thing from an offensive perspective and say, okay, I know what they're doing, and I want to go with this package. That's how I'm looking at it. Rhonda Miles said, I'm just glad we have someone now. It could have been your cousin, your aunt, your uncle. It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody. So it's like we're just glad that we see somebody now, and that's it. Let's see here. Yeah, man. Yeah, the concern is there. I'm concerned now. I'm a little bit concerned now because we're running the ball heavy now. So we'll see. Because he's a safeties coach and he's at the NFL level, that can give you a lot of confidence for the secondary. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I think one of our biggest issues was the secondary. So you should feel confident that now we're getting somebody who has NFL experience, 9 years of NFL experience. Our secondary is going to get tighter because we gave up a lot of big plays. A lot of big plays. I mean, Stanford is the one that just comes down to just like, what were we thinking? Why are we going man? You keep thinking about the Stanford game. If you're not like, if you're not traumatized from that Stanford game, you're like, Travis Hunter is coming off of injury. He's barely 100%, and we're going man. Why are we playing man? We're up 29 points. Why are we not dropping dudes back and playing off the ball? Why are we playing man? And that again is another thing that I can say. It can give you a breath of fresh air to say, wow, we're getting a young person in here. Number one, a really good positive thing to think about is that Livingston is young and he has something to prove. So you start thinking about that, you're like, yeah, Coach Prime, that's a good job because now you got somebody in here with NFL experience, and our secondary was one of the biggest issues. And now you just answered that big question of fixing our secondary because now you got a secondary mind from the NFL. So that's a plus. That's a good thing, Coach Prime. I'm happy for that. But he's not a position coach. He's not coming in as a position coach. He's coming in as the guy who's going to run the whole thing. And then you go right back to what I'm like, oh, dang it. You know what? I hope he learns fast. I hope this guy starts, like, if he's the guy that Coach Prime chose, because obviously this is a report, we're treating it as such. If he's the guy that Coach Prime chose, though, what was that conversation like? What did he sell Coach Prime on as far as how he's going to level the field, how he sees the field as a coordinator, what he's going to do, what packages he's planning on using or putting together that's going to make us elite in the Big 12, stopping the run. I'm sure we're not the only ones that know that the Big 12 like to run because they can't pass for crap, okay? The Big 12 quarterback sucks at passing, okay? So they don't want it looks like the Big 12, okay? It looks like the Big 12 does not want the ball in the quarterback's hand. They want the ball in the running back's hand. So those Big 12, as opposed to Shador, the Big 12 quarterbacks know how to hand the ball off. Shador got to work on that. If we do that RPO stuff again, oh Lord, Shador holding onto the ball and trying to drag the running back with him, that ain't going to work in the Big 12. The Big 12 guys, they know how to run that ball and they know how to hand the ball off. They're going to remind you of is it Caleb Williams? Who was the USC guy? That's Caleb, right? I think Caleb and Bo Nix from Oregon. Those guys impress me when it comes to like hiding the ball as a quarterback, faking the handoff, tricking the defense to think that they still got the ball or the running back got the ball. Oh, man, when you watch those guys, it's like poetry. Shador lacks those things. Shador is the worst at those things, okay? Like, I defend. I'm online. I'm on in the comments defending Shador as one of the best quarterbacks returning in college football. But when it comes to details and mechanics, if we talk about mechanics, if I was to do, I don't know that I'm going to do a video on mechanics and who has the best mechanics as a quarterback. That's going to take a lot of research. But if I was to grade Shador on like ball handing the ball off on the mechanics, I don't know that he will grade that high because Shador really like handing the ball off is not one of his greatest suits. Boy, oh my gosh. What are you saying? His first choice is now in Miami, so he had to settle for this guy. Shante said, "Don't start, Harry." Coaching panel hunt, but CP's final decision: plug and play DC. Like I told y'all. Wait. Wild Dog, what are you saying there? That's not a plug and play DC. A guy without experience, it's not called plug and play. Yeah, I don't know. Wild Dog, I don't know how you're saying this is plug and play. I'll push back on that. That's not a plug and play guy. That's a guy that's going to be learning on the job. And you can't tell me that. I dare anyone to tell me that this guy's not going to be learning on the job. If you've never done something before, it is your first time doing it, you're going to be learning on the job. All right? Like, let's be frank. Let's just take it outside of Colorado and outside of Coach Prime. If you have somebody who's inexperienced, just on the surface, they are learning on the job. That's not plug and play. This DC doesn't come with baggage. Okay. I mean, we don't know that. I haven't done the research. Like, trust me, I'm going to dig in. This is just an introductory video. This is an introductory video. So I'm doing it live because I just feel like it just happened tonight, and I know everybody's talking about it. So I had to jump on here to kind of give you guys the update. But I'm going to be going deeper. I'll be looking a little deeper. I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to pull off, you know. I don't know how much I'm going to pull off, but it's just not, you know, there's not much there, to tell you the truth. All right? There's not much there. And but I'm going to see what I can find on this guy. All right? So trust you me. We're going to get to know this guy. Do your homework. You are here with this BS. All right, somebody's woke up on the wrong side of the pillow this tonight, or they haven't gone to sleep yet. What I don't know what other research, you know. I don't know any other research you're talking about because we're just learning about the guy. What research are we supposed to be doing? Anyway, I'm not wasting no time on that. All right, so yeah, so this guy, look at the face. He's a young guy. He looks young at least. And if he ends up being our next DC, he has his work cut out for him on several levels. The Coach Prime universe is a different beast. College is a little different. College is different. College audiences are different from NFL audiences. So I think for those who say college football is more exciting than NFL, and the fan base are crazier than NFL. So I would say that those are some elements to throw out there. How do you think the defense will react to this hire? I mean, he's a young guy. I don't see that he's a young guy. So I don't see how they don't respond to him, you know, fairly. Because sometimes, like, I don't know if the some of the things that Cormani McLean was saying, if it's true or not, if he ever said those things. I never saw them online. Like, as far as like old school mentality and the coaches really being old school and not really the young guys are they do stuff a little differently now. So that could be a dynamic. It's a plus because he's young. These guys are young. He understands where they're at mentally. He knows where they're coming from, where they're trying to get to. He was there for years, being one of the longest tenured guys at in the Bengals staff with the Bengals staff assistant. So yeah, I would say they're going to respond to him pretty well. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. That's a good takeaway that I can say. I like the fact that he's young, and the young guys are going to take to him pretty well. I think relatability is important. I think Coach Brown made a mention about relatability. You got to come in there as far as from a plug and play standpoint. Relatability, I think that plays a big part. He's relatable. He should be relatable because of his age. Because a lot of the coaches, like especially like Coach Prime, if we were just to pick on Coach Prime for a second, Coach Prime is so daggone old school. Like he be thinking mad old school. And they's young boys, they're not on that old school wave sometimes. Like Coach Prime, relax, bro. Like I'm telling you, just from like what the guys will be saying, Coach Prime, you are way too old school. Like chill. You're only 50-something years old, but your old school values, man. Those young boys, they want to play. They just, they think different. They act different. They're soft. They're not like tough skin like we were raised. They're not tough skin. They're real soft. They got too much emotions. Somebody told them it's okay to cry. It's okay to deal with your emotions. Like they're growing up in environments where safe spaces are a thing. And they're coming from those environments where, what I'm saying? Like, oh, yes, safe space. So a lot of them, like, that's how they are. So, like we said earlier, I think it was Coach Lowry that said, you can't be throwing those kids under the bus like that. You can't be publicly shaming them and be publicly saying some stuff like where your old school values, the old guys that play with you, if your teammates that you're hiring, where they would totally understand how your coaches handle the situations that you guys handle, and they were tough. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that with these kids. They're not cut from that cloth. But can they play the game of football? Yeah, because they're doing it the same. They're lining up across. They're not lining up across from guys that are old school like Coach Prime. They're lining up across from guys that are their age. So they're all the same. You got to handle them a little differently. He also coached at Vanderbilt. Let's see. He also coached at Vanderbilt and was a D coach at Furman. Okay. A little bit more information coming out. So he was a defensive quality control coach at Vanderbilt. All right. Well, I mean, a quality control coach. He was a QC. Like, what I'm saying? Like QCs don't scream coordinator, QCs don't scream coordinator. It's not really going to be, there's not going to be much on this guy. I'm just going to lay this out like this. There's not really going to be much on this guy. He has to come in here and he has to prove himself. We got a white DC. We got a white OC. We got 75 to 80% black players. Sean Lewis had a problem with dealing with black players, understanding their culture, understanding where they come from. Even though this guy is white, the NFL is also 75% black, and he's had to deal with a lot of them. I don't know too many white safeties. I'm just going to put this out there. I don't know too many white safeties. So it's more than likely that this guy will be invited to the barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me touch on this just a little bit, okay? It's more than likely that this guy, he's nice. He don't just looking at him, you know what I'm saying? Like Alpha Rule would say, I get the warm and fuzzies, let me just dig into my bag of feelings right quick. Just looking at him, the way that he looks, he might be invited to the barbecue. Okay, I don't know that he will have an issue talking to black guys, because obviously we never talk about cultural backgrounds and stuff like that. How to deal with black dudes, the way you communicate with black dudes is a little different from the way that you communicate with white dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't see anything here where I think the fact that he's young, I think he's gonna come in here and you might hear me do a video and be like, yo, I like this guy. I like the way he moves. I like what he's saying. I can't wait to hear him talk. When the second I hear him talk, my gifting starts to work. That's how it works for me. I gotta hear him talk. I gotta hear him move. I gotta see him move. Once that happens, I can pick up certain things that I'll be able to tell you about how he's going to coach. I can't tell you how I do that because you can't tell me how nice you are. Okay, I just gotta hear him talk. That's part of my thing. Oh man, I gotta hear this guy talk first. I see you searching and talking, but about acting, what you feel is, huh? I don't know what you're saying. Most of the players he coached in NFL are black. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know too many white safeties. I don't know too many white guys that are in the secondary. Most of the white guys in the NFL are on that line. You see all big white guys on the line. Position, skill positions, safety, and the guys that are flying around. Most of those guys are black in the NFL. It just happens that way. This is not a racial thing. I just want to let you know, but it just happens that way. So most of the guys that he's coached are going to be black guys. So he would be invited to the cookout. Like I don't see where he wouldn't be invited to the cookout. Now, Sean Lewis had an issue with, I guess, handling Shador. I don't know if they would play video games together or go fishing together or whatever, but this guy's not, he ain't doing nothing with Shador. Him and Shiloh gonna get along because he's a safeties coach. So Shiloh's about to be a beast. Okay? So there's a lot of positives that's gonna come out in the days coming. My only concern right now is his lack of experience. That's it. That's it. My only thing right now is his lack of play calling experience on handling the whole thing. Now, whether he can go microcosm, he can go focus on one specific thing. I trust he would do that all day. If they were to say, "Oh my God, this guy is coming in to do what Warren Sapp was going to do," then maybe I'll be like, "Okay, I can see it." But now he's the guy that's chosen to do the whole thing, and I don't know. Are y'all fighting in the comments there? I'm seeing words flying around. What's happening? I'm seeing some choice words, some kitty cats flying around. I don't know what's going on. We got played. So Uncle Tub Gaming says we got played. Why do you feel like we got played? I am going to call him out on the mind blown thing, but I don't think that this is the guy that they said was going to blow our minds. I think the other guy fell through. That's how I feel. Every DC had an experience their first season at some point. Oh, but are we saying that he's gonna grow on us? Are we gonna? I don't want no guy to come in here and learn on our watch. This is year 2. Okay, this is year 2, and we got recruiting in the is hanging in the wings. Okay, we got to start winning for recruiting to happen. All right, we got to start winning for recruits to happen. Right now, I'm ready for Colorado to be in the conversation, to land. I mean, to have like multiple Travis Hunters, multiple Shadors. Everything that we have one of right now, I'm ready for Colorado to start putting W's on the board so that we can have multiple of them. Because if you look at most of the SEC team, the Southeastern Conference teams, they have multiple Shadors. They have multiple Travis Hunters. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll have multiple Shilohs. Like, some of these guys are just sitting around. Like, if they were to leave their team, they would be starters on other teams. I'm ready for Colorado to start getting into the conversation like that but it's only going to take winning. It's only going to take winning. So that's how we get them. But if we get a guy that has to learn on the job in our second year, that's only going to mean that we're going to have a tough third year. That's what that means to me. So Shante said, drop a fire if you feel like this is a good hire, or a trash can if you feel like it's a garbage decision. So Shante, you started off. Shante, go ahead, start it off. Let me see what you're talking about. Wild Dog says 3 fire emojis. Fire. This is a Purple Orca. You think this is fire? Yo Creole, I believe, says trash. DC, what up, man? DC says, oh man, you see the thumbnail? I was scratching my head too. No experience isn't something to minimize, like I see some people with rose-colored glasses are trying to say. KMS said his mind is blown. That's only one KMS. That's only one mind-blown emojis. It's supposed to be 3. Remember? There we go. Dang got it. Oh gosh. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I think we as Colorado fans, I think we're doing that thing that we articulated earlier today. We know how to put the spin on anything. I think if Coach Prime would have hired his cousin from jail, okay, if Coach Prime would have hired his cousin from jail, he played football when he was 12 years old. We would have spun this. That's how I feel about this. All right. We would have spun it and be like, I feel good because now at least Coach Prime has somebody that he knows and that he can trust. That's his cousin. All right. So that's just what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm thinking. Because I don't want to hear none of y'all who are dropping fire emojis. I don't want none of y'all to come off and start saying this guy is trash. After the second game. Yo, God. Yo. I don't want to hear none of y'all if we lose 2 games in a row. Oh, I can't stop myself right now. If we lose 2 games in a row, I don't want to hear none of y'all say this guy. Oh, God, help me, Jesus. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Good night. Okay. I'm going to screen capture all of your fire emojis. And I'm going to make a special video All right. I'm gonna make a special video with all your screen captures. When I hear any of y'all say this guy is trash, get him up out of here. Oh, Lord have mercy. If I guys, y'all gotta excuse me. If I hear any of y'all say this guy is trash in the middle of the season, if I hear any of y'all say this guy is trash in the middle of the season, I'm coming for y'all. I'm screen capturing. Oh gosh. Because all of y'all are saying that his lack of experience is okay. All right. I don't think he's trash, but I don't think he's fire. I can't put. I need a middle. I need an avatar for like. I'm neutral. What's the neutral avatar? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're killing me. I respect the hire. If I can't put no fire emoji, but I respect the hire. I only respect the hire because I respect Coach Prime. So I respect the hire, and I'm trusting the process. That's it. So if it comes down to, excuse me, guys. If it comes down to, Lord have mercy. If this is Coach Prime's guy, because we're treating it, you got to keep in mind that we're treating this as as a report. All right, so I'm not picking no sides. I gotta respect it because I respect the process and I respect Coach Prime. I don't. I would say I can't say it's a trash hire because there are pluses and minuses. So it's not a trash hire. I question the lack of experience. Why are we getting a guy that has no experience as a DC? I don't I don't care about the NFL at all. I'm not hung up on NFL experience. So I don't care that he had NFL experience. There's a lot of college DCs. So I don't care that he has college NFL connects. Because at this point, like, who cares about NFL connects? If we win and our guys are on TV every day, if we got well-off media that's leading the world of college sports, that's a whole nother media outlet for our guys to get burned and shine. If you can't make a case of our guys winning, then who cares? Like, this guy doesn't really have that much pull to get somebody into the NFL if they're not good. You see what I'm saying? If they don't ball out, he can't get nobody into the NFL. I know the NFL thing is glitz and glam. Like, it looks shiny to y'all, but you gotta be a baller. They're not taking nobody. They're not taking a subpar player because Livingston recommended them. I hope y'all don't drink that tea. They got a ball. So I would have rather get an experienced DC from the college ranks. What's the thing about the NFL? I don't get it. What's the thing about the NFL? Like, why we wanted an NFL guy? Why? So I don't, I don't understand the NFL. Why are we enamored with the NFL? With like getting somebody from the NFL? Why? Who cares? To me, who cares? At least we drinking tea. You won't pick a side. Nah. Cause while I respect it, I don't understand it. I don't know why we didn't get somebody with experience. I don't come on here. Um, I don't come on here and make my predictions, and then we're waiting for a DC. We know Pat Shermer has experience. He was a coordinator before. He didn't win that great. He didn't do that great in the NFL, but he was at least a coordinator before. I don't want to come on here and make all of my predictions and big up this team and do all of my research and say this is what we're gonna do. Look at the Big 12, and then we get somebody inexperienced, and y'all be like, "Oh yeah, this is a great hire." Drop fire emojis. It's a responsible hire. It's a responsible hire because he's a secondary coach, and we had the biggest issue. We had one of our biggest issues on our defense was giving up big plays last year. So this is a responsible hire. He can fix our secondary. But how does he handle the pressure of the entire defense? Reading the offense, calling the plays, saying, I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that. How can he handle that? You know, that's where I have to disconnect at. That's where I'm disconnected because I feel like I was really looking forward to somebody with experience. And we didn't get that. We got a okay hire. We got a okay hire. And it's a responsible hire. And a guy has to learn on the job. We don't have time for somebody to be learning on the job. I don't know how you guys are understanding that. We don't have time for people to learn on the job. Not when you got a coach like Coach Prime who's putting all that target on the guys and saying we're gonna do this. This is our expectations. And then you get somebody inexperienced to throw in that heat. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We wrote a big check. Our check that we wrote from our head coach to make a bowl game and to get into the playoffs. Those are the two checks that we got to cash. Two checks. Make a bowl, get into the playoff. College football is going to a 12-member playoff team system. We can get in. We don't have to be spectacular. We can get in if we win our division. Not division, our conference. Sorry. We got to go through a couple of tough teams to go through that. There are two solid teams that I know can hands down beat us. So if you look at that, then you're like, how will an inexperienced DC handle this pressure cooker job? That's where I'm at. Utah can beat us. Arizona can beat us. Kansas State can beat us. Oklahoma State can beat us. I got us at 8-4. With an inexperienced guy, I might have to drop it down 1 to 7 games. But I won't make that decision tonight. I wouldn't make that decision tonight. He lacks experience. That's my only thing. That's what I'm taking away. Got to keep the staff 2 years though. So let me ask you this question before I sign off. We don't know yet, but does anybody know if this guy has aspirations of coaching, being a head coach in college? Sean Lewis was a one and done guy. This guy coming in, You said yourself you don't know his resume. Well, we just read his resume. He's the longest tenured assistant coach or at with the Bengals. 9 years. 9 years in with the secondary. We got it right here. I mean, how much more resume do you need? It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. Defensive back coach, 2016. Livingston was promoted to assistant defensive coach, backs coach in 2016, secondary coach in 2017, and became the safety secondary coach in 2018. That's it. I mean, if you can't talk from that point, if you are a talker, then I don't know where. I mean, what else do you need? You don't stay 9 years in the league and suck. Well, what does that mean, suck? Who sucks? This is not about being good or suck, because his defense was rated pretty high in the NFL. His secondary, his safeties were tough in the NFL. I don't know how many of you guys watch NFL. I watch the NFL. The Bengals are a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I watch them. But that's not DC. You're not catching the drift. I don't get it. Like, don't drink this. Don't drink that tea. Not DC. That's what it is. You can't say Coach Prime is learning as a head coach. Give him time to give him grace and say this guy, because he had 9 years, he's going to be a plug and play guy and he's going to be that guy. He needs the same grace that Coach Prime needs. Are we not looking at that? Like, if Coach Prime needs grace and he's still learning, as much as even though he has now 3 years under his belt, this guy has 0 years under his belt. 0. We can't have it both ways. 0 years under his belt as DC. 0. If you think Coach Prime needs grace, he needs Jesus and grace, because he has 0 years. All right. This is our second year guy. The year where we're supposed to now show the NFL. We're supposed to show college football what we're about. Catch me now while you can, because this is the last time you're going to see me this way. And then we go out and get an inexperienced DC. Where am I going wrong? Where did I miss the boat? Just tell me. Am I not allowed to say that? I'm asking. Don't hurt the courier. Don't hurt the courier. AK says I'm shady. Slim, I wish I was shady, because Slim Shady is one of the best rappers in hip hop, if not the best rapper in hip hop. Shady, Slim Shady. So if you're saying I'm one of the best that's done this, I think I agree with you. People are going to ask this question. people, now you're crazy, Harry, regarding Shady. Slim Shady is one of the best rappers in hip hop. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. Come on now. Stop playing with me. So if I'm shady, then that means I'm a GOAT. Anyways, I want to let the Buff fans know. Let's get serious for a second before I sign off. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I want to let the Buff fans know that based on this speculation, or if this is a hire, based on this hire, speculations are gonna spiral, and they're gonna go around. Predictions are gonna change. Just know that he's inexperienced. That's not me making that up. Know that he's inexperienced. Accept that. It's okay. You cannot say Coach Prime is inexperienced and say this guy has all of the experience. That means you want your cake, your goat meat, your pig skin, your cow skin, and you want to eat it too. If Coach Prime is inexperienced and he needs grace, this guy needs double that. And he better get it fast. Like, I hope you got a room in Boulder already. Get there and get going fast. If you catch my drift, and it's pretty drifty in Boulder because it's colder in Boulder. You understand? He's inexperienced. Buff fans, please accept that. It's okay. It's okay. We respect the pick, but the pick is inexperienced. He has zero experience as a DC. But he's going to bolster our secondary. Ooh, Chantel, is that a boo for me? Ooh. We booed up. Trust the process. Respect the process. We got to respect the process, guys. I'm trolling y'all. Oh, man. CP can set the scheme and make the calls for all intensive purposes. Hold on, Wild Dog. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? You want CP to call the plays now? You can't trust this guy and say CP should call the plays. Who's being negative, bro? I'm giving you both sides. You're only hearing the negative because that's your team. You're only hearing the negative because you block out when I say the positive stuff, like he's going to bolster our secondary. That's not a negative. That's a positive. But you didn't hear that. You just don't like the fact that I said he's inexperienced. That's not negativity. Even Purple Orca is over here. Y'all got Purple Orca over here. He's more bullish. He's more bullish on Livingston than I am. Oh man. Yo, he's inexperienced. That's what I said. That's what I said, AK. He's inexperienced. That's it. That's where I leave. That's where I part away from the fan base, because he's inexperienced and you're not willing to accept the fact that he's inexperienced. And it's sad that you're not even allowing yourself to really like say, oh man, this guy is inexperienced. Dang, how is our season gonna go? Man, I wish him well, man. I'm still gonna believe. I'm still gonna take, you know what I'm saying? I respect the process. I respect Coach Prime and I respect his decision. And that's where I'm at with it. I respect Coach Prime. I respect his decision. If that is his decision, guys, this is still speculation. This is still, we don't know. What if tomorrow we wake up and we find out that no, that was just a false report. It got the fan base going crazy, and then Coach Prime comes and switch it all of on us. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Like, y'all go to sleep, man. Let me get off of here. Just know that. Okay, I'll give you all this before I leave. If you trust the talent that we got this year, I think that the talent that we got on the team will make up for his inexperience. And having evaluated the talent, having looked at where they're coming from, what type of production they had on their team, I think if we had him in 2023, it would have been bad news for us. But I think the fact that we're getting him with better talent, I think the talent will make up for his inexperience. So I like that. I like that spin. So if he's not that talented, if he has to learn a few things and he has to adjust to a few things as far as play calling, um, I think he's going to have some experienced guys on that defensive line and some experienced guys in the secondary, where his secondary prowess is going to make up for a lot of his DC inexperience. So I think he's going to be fine, but that's something that we have to be concerned about. We have to be concerned about his inexperience, and we have to hold that accountable. We have to hold Coach Prime and his hiring accountable for getting a guy that is inexperienced. But we also have to congratulate Coach Prime for getting a guy that can bolster our secondary. And then he's already done the work where he's put good talent on the defensive line. So he may not have to worry about that too much. So that's what I say. No NFL coach, no NFL coach needs college players to pick up his slack. Hmm? What does that mean? No NFL coach needs college players to pick up his slack. There are college coaches that leave and go to the NFL who are successful in college. They're not successful in what's the name? And then there are Pat Shermers. There are the NFL guys that come to college and they're not successful. And some of them, if they're successful, it's because the players picked up their slack. Because the players were so good that it didn't matter. Sometimes you have good quarterback. You have a good quarterback that can hide your blemishes. If you're Bill Belichick, your quarterback can hide your blemishes for as long as he's playing for you. After your quarterback leaves, you get 4 years to stand on your own coaching prowess, and then your coaching acumens doesn't show, and it lends more credibility to who you had on your team, and they needed to pick up your slack. You're putting too much, Wild Dog, you're putting too much credence on NFL, because not every NFL coach that comes to college is successful. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If the NFL was just that dope as far as coaching is concerned, then it would mean that any NFL coach that came over to the college ranks would be successful as a coach, and that's not always the case. So I wouldn't put that credence on NFL coaches, because they're not like that. They're really not like that. It's not like the way you're trying to post it. It's not like that. Because I would love for every coach that came from the NFL to just be like, oh yeah, I'm an NFL guy, so I know you college guys, you ain't got nothing on me. I got y'all. Nah, it doesn't go like that. I'm putting credence in Super Bowl experience. All right, but I mean, when you say stuff like no NFL coach needs college players, even if you go to the Super Bowl, you can't explain Bill Belichick to me. You think Bill Belichick can take a college team and take them to the national championship? If without Tom Brady, who's Bill Belichick? Your players matter. So, Viral Authority, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's give him a chance. Go Buffs. Shut up, haters. Let's give him a chance. We're gonna give him a chance. I need to find a beef emoji because I got beef with Harry B. Shantae, you know you can come on here anytime you're ready. We can talk. But yeah, back to Wild Dog. Just because you have Super Bowl experience, you could have gone to the ends of the earth and get the biggest, the most accolades as an NFL coach, and you can flop in college. The environments are different, and the people that you're dealing with are different. You're dealing with professionals who are making millions of dollars. You're dealing with some young people who are still trying to figure out who they are. So the environments are different. So coaching doesn't always translate. I know it's NFL, and that's where all the kids want to go, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, because he's NFL, he's ready. Let's go. I wouldn't do that to you. There's no way. I wouldn't do that to you. That wouldn't be fair, especially to some of the young men. So where you like, oh, okay, so that means that you're telling me, let's forget about Livingston for a second. You're telling me we could have just plugged and played any NFL guy. Like if he was successful, any guy, just bring him in. He's NFL. Let's go. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. And I just wish that you guys would just treat it just like if it wasn't Coach Prime. Just treat it that way. How would you look at this if it wasn't Coach Prime and it wasn't your team? If anybody was just to pick up an inexperienced guy, what would you say? We can spin. We are the best spinners. I just learned that today. We are the best spinners in the game. Wow, I didn't know that. But if it was just somebody inexperienced, would you even say, oh my God, they're inexperienced, but let's see? You can say that and just let it go, right? That's all I'm saying. But y'all getting mad at me for just saying that he's inexperienced. No, man, that's not how it goes. He's inexperienced. That's fine. I'm not saying he's a bad hire. I'm opening my mouth and saying he's inexperienced. That's it. How's he going to turn out? If I told you how he's going to turn out, now I'll be foul. I say he's inexperienced, and I don't know. But what I do know about his experience is that our secondary better be tight. Wasn't Kelly like mad experienced? Weren't you bullish on Kelly? Wasn't he mad experienced? Is this guy better than Kelly? Okay, Shantae, is he better than Kelly? That's wild. He just said he's inexperienced. Is he better than Kelly? Is this guy better than the guy that left the job previously? You said, yep, he's younger and he got fresher ideas. How you know that? Are you age shaming? How old is Nick Saban? How old is Whittingham? How old are all the coaches that spanked our butt, that spanked Coach Prime's butt? And Coach Prime was younger than them. I think Kenny Dillingham was younger than Coach Prime. Based on what you're saying, Kenny Dillingham should have beat us because he's younger, he got better ideas. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Shantae. I don't know what you're doing, Shantae. We can't, it's not about age. Yup, because he's younger and got fresher ideas. Come on, Shantae. You be dropping gems like you said. Like that right there, I need to take that off my screen. What? Push back. What the heck is that? Younger and fresher ideas. Boy, go watch the coach's video that I put up. I don't know if it was age. You know, Harry B, you let Sam tear down. Where is Sam at? I need to ask Sam that question. Yo, I need to ask Sam that. Where is Sam when you need her? Yeah, I pinned it because you said he's younger, he got fresher ideas. What in the world? Shantae, if you don't go sleep, it's past your bedtime. Stop playing. Harry B, you let Sam tear down Kelly. Livingston may be opposite of Kelly. Dillingham was CP's first choice for OC. Dillingham, we beat Dillingham. So, I mean, according to Shantae, Dillingham should have beat us because he's younger with fresher ideas. Oh, man. I'm telling y'all, the argument y'all be using, y'all forget what y'all argue on. I have a gift of not forgetting. I don't forget your size. The things y'all argue for other things, you're not applying it here now. You're forgetting how you'll argue for other things. Kelly's gone. So no more Kelly. But this guy's new. He's young, but he has no experience. Okay. All right. Y'all see. You got to believe, and you got to trust the process. That's what a fan does. Believe and trust the process. I'm a fan, so I'm going to believe and trust the process. If I hear any of y'all say this guy is trash in the middle of the season, if we take 2 L's and I hear any of y'all say this guy is trash, I want to keep saying this because I want y'all to remember. All right? Just look forward to a good secondary, but just we're going to be praying for overall a good job overall. Lift Kelly up, tear. Lift Kelly up, tear Kelly down. You standing on business. I see you standing on business. I better not hear any of y'all talk about this guy is trash. Wild Dog was good with Kelly. All right, so that's all I got for y'all guys. Let me sign off. I'll see y'all on Friday. But hopefully by Friday, not hopefully, by Friday, I'm gonna have the skinny on this guy. I'm gonna go digging. You know how I do here. I'll go digging. I'll come back with fire. We're gonna talk about this guy in more depth on Friday. How about that? Okay. By that time, you would have watched all the videos. All of the guys that are doing the videos, you would have probably seen maybe 1 or 2 videos, not 1 or 2. Tomorrow's Thursday. So you wouldn't see no videos about this guy. This is it. But I would have had time to do my research, and you would have had time to do your research. So we'll talk about it. Harry will be more positive. I'm gonna find good. I'm gonna find the good. I always try to find the good, but I need to understand how bad can it be. If I'm not willing to ask how bad can it be, then how much of a fan can I be? If everything is always good until it's not good, then you got to ask yourself, where did I go wrong? Why was it so good until it's not good? Now I'm ready to unleash the way that I really feel. Some of you guys are terrible friends. I'm looking at some of you, and I'm looking at like some of y'all are terrible friends. I'm almost thinking like y'all are terrible friends to have, because y'all like some of those people that like, man, I wish they would. You're like, I would, instead of telling somebody like, oh man, I don't like that about you. Y'all wait until they hit that right button and then bang. You can't call this gentleman inexperienced though. Yes, you can. If you've never done something before, you are inexperienced on that. If he was hired as the safeties coach or the secondary coach, then he would not be called inexperienced. He's not being hired as a safety or a secondaries coach. He's being hired for a job that he has no previous experience doing. So that means that he's inexperienced. Why is that so hard? Why is that so? Why can you not accept that? Like, if you're being hired for something you've never done before, for Coach Prime, it's not inexperienced. For somebody else, would be inexperienced. Shantae, where do you work? You work somewhere. We they hire a CEO that used to manufacture tires. I hope you don't work for a tire company like Firestone. They used to work in the fire with tires, and they were the best in that. They come to your job. Let's say you are a medical person. They come to your job, and they are now the CEO who's supposed to run your company. And you're saying, well, at least he got experience working with tires. He put out a lot of great cars that never had accidents. Now let's see how he does in medical. He's going to put out a lot of tires that never crashed. But he's going to put out a lot of people that do crash. What about, it's too late. You work in finance. Even better. Think about it. You work in finance. They hire somebody that has never handled a financial company. They come into your company and they are about to take over to run your company. And you're telling me that if they've never, if on their resume, it doesn't say they have experience as a CEO of your company or of finance or something that's financial, you're telling me you're okay with saying they got experience. Tires, yes. That's the only thing I can come up with. It's late. I've been doing this show all day, y'all. Leave me alone. Okay, I've been doing. We was on earlier today, and then I had to come and rush back. I was out, rush back home. Had to drive like 1,000 miles per hour to come back home when I heard this news to come and go live again. Come on now, you get tires, okay? Because I'm tired. Miami got all kinds of heat for hiring young first NFL coach, and he is fired. Okay. I mean, I ain't saying this guy's gonna be bad. I'm just saying, say what it is. That's all. We're gonna be good because the talent, Wild Dog, Purple Orca, y'all got Purple Orca. Where are you coming? Are you? Did we change you, Purple Orca? Did we just? Did you? Did we wear you out like Steve Urkel and Laura? we we all of a sudden now you're what? Y'all gotta watch out for Purple Orca. Like I don't know, man. Oh man, a lot of y'all are changing. Y'all been around here too long. But when you're interviewing him, you learn that he's been the CEO's right hand man the entire time. Oh yeah, that's what we need. Somebody's right hand man. Oh, Purple Orca says great hires can change me. But this one is not a great hire though. This is a good hire, Orca. So I don't know that you can say this one is a great hire. I would say this is a good, safe hire. Great, not great. Great would be somebody who had experience, like 9 years of calling the plays on as a DC. That would be a great hire. And I can't believe that you guys tonight. I kind of knew that though. I knew that this was going to happen. I said the Colorado fans, they know how to spin things, and they're going to spin this. You guys must be Republican. I think the Colorado fans are Republican because the Republican Party, the best at spins. The Democrats do not know how to spin nothing. So Colorado is PWI. and y'all are Republicans. Y'all are the masters of spin. Y'all know how to spin anything. It could be a doo-doo hire, and y'all would be like, "Oh my gosh, can you smell that?" I'm done. Y'all are Republicans. I see now. I see what's happening. Y'all are Republicans. Y'all are the masters of spin. Safe hire with new direction. I give it a 3 out of 5. So Wild Dog is coming around. Wild Dog is a man of integrity. He's a guy that's rational. All right. So he may start off one way, but if he hears something that can change his way of thinking about something, he can concede to say, okay, I see what you're saying. You make some good points. So I'll give him a 3 out of 5. I'll give him a 2 out of 5. Okay. I'm with a 2 out of 5. Boast of the defense. He's an NFL guy. Has zero experience as a DC. No, he's also young. So yeah. Boaster. So he's relatable. So that's a lot of pluses. And yeah, he's never caught. He's not a play caller. Yeah, he's not a DC. That's it. So yeah, that's a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. All right, guys. So I'll leave it there. I give him a 2 out of 5. Okay, so yeah, DC agrees with me as well. But you got to be careful when DC will start agreeing with you. You got to be careful when DC start agreeing with you. Oh gosh. Okay, so I give him a 2 out of 5. Hey Shantae, I'm interested. What do you give him out of 5? What do you give him before I leave? Oh Lord. What do you give him, Shantae? Out of 5, what do you give him? Wild Dog is 3 out of 5. Y'all giving out fire emojis. I'm afraid of y'all Colorado fans, man. Y'all are vicious because I know what y'all are holding. I know y'all are holding venom back because all fire emoji. Okay, all right. Probably a Purple Ochre says 3 out of 5. Okay, I mean those are safe. Y'all don't want to articulate the 3, what the 3 means, because based on y'all, that'll be a 5 out of 5. I mean, if y'all want to, AK, now you're saying 3 out of 5, but but I'm shady. If I'm shady, then how do you explain what is your 3? If it's not a 5 out of 5, then what's your reservation to give him the extra 5 or the extra 2? What would be the reservation? Because the reason why I would give him a 2 out of 5 is because he's not experienced as a DC. So you will give him a 3 out of 5, but you don't want to say why. Because then you'll be seen as a hater. You can sell this to high school kids. Oh Lord, she's sniffing glue. Lord, what kind of glue? All right, guys. So I'll see y'all on Friday. Y'all bring your research minds on Friday, and don't leave me up here by myself. Okay, somebody better be ready to talk on Friday. I see y'all don't like to talk at night, but y'all old folks. I realize that y'all old folks don't like to talk at night. You answered it, AK? Wait, did you answer it? I don't know what you're. Oh, you want me to go all the way back? Wait. Be realistic, but I believe for a reason. 3 means be positive. See how it goes. Man, what does that mean? What are y'all doing? 3 means being positive. Like, oh my gosh, it's Coach Brown. Ah, just believe. DC, thank you, man. Voice of reason. Where are the voices of reason? Just believe. All my faith-based people. Where y'all at? Just believe. East Coast Cav, where you at? We need scripture. KMS says another cryptic text in 45 days. Friday at noon Eastern. Yes. Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Friday. We need scripture, guys. We need scripture. We need all the faith, I believe. We need all the faith-based people to stay on the sidelines. I think the guy on the thumbnail, I think that's him. I Googled it. If I put the wrong guy on the thumbnail, y'all gotta forgive me, but I think that's him. Yeah, I think that's him. If I'm not mistaken, that's this guy. That's not him. Yeah, I think it was a close-up. I need all the faith-based people to stay home on Friday. Don't tune into the show on Friday if you're faith-based, because I'm coming with facts. You may not like the facts I come with. So, all the faith-based people, you're gonna have to chill on Friday. All the I believe people. So he looks like Justin Bieber. Oh, okay. You say you never heard of this guy. He's the phenomenal safeties coach. Um, he's all fire emoji. I'm sorry, it's late. The Buff fans love him. We about to win the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, Chantel, you can't do knowns. I've been pondering late shows, but if I'm gonna do late shows and you ain't gonna come on here and talk, you're gonna let me talk. I ain't doing no late shows. I like the mornings where the old folks, they're up in the morning, they can talk. I like my old folks. All the young folk, y'all at work. Anyways, all right, guys. So we'll talk later. We're lots of NFL facts on Bengals defense. Harry, you trying, but we can hear your disappointment in this pick. Am I disappointed? I would say, man, I if I was to tell you I wasn't disappointed, I think I'll be lying, man. I am disappointed. When you put 3 mind-blowing emojis, I take that stuff serious. I take it serious because you're supposed to blow my mind. So you can't tell me you can't tell me you're supposed to blow our minds and then give me a guy that's inexperienced. And I'm supposed to be here trying to defend us for winning the Big 12. How are we winning the Big 12 with a guy with no experience? Y'all think it's going to be easy to just plug and play any guy and just win? Like, I'm a little disappointed, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I because I love Coach Prime and I trust him and I respect him greatly, I'm gonna trust the process just for that. But if you're not disappointed as a Buff fan for an inexperienced guy, then that's just then then you're a good fan. You're that ideal fan that everybody needs. You're the person that we need to rock with because you're a good fan. You're somebody who just you love your team and whatever decision they make, you follow that. That's cool. I like that about you. For me, I'm still looking for those 3 mind blown emojis. My mind is blown. But my mind is not blown on Robert Livingston if that's who Coach Prime is going to be choosing, because this guy has never coached as a DC. So my mind is not blown. Get out of your feelings, Harry B, and dig into the data. That's where my feelings are in the data. The data is that he never coached as a DC. And I know when you get on that hot seat, boy, when you get on that hot seat and the fan base are cheering and they're going, you see when the camera pans over to somebody crying, the kids crying, the fan when the camera pans over to the student section and the game is tight and the DC fumbles the call, makes the wrong call, and they pan over to those kids and they start hugging each other, crying. That that's where we're at. When that fan base, when you see those kids hanging their head and they're going like this because we couldn't stop the run, we gave Arizona the balls with 7 minutes to go. And no matter what we did, they ran, and left 0 seconds on the clock and kicked a field goal. And you see those kids' faces go, look with disappointment. They're gonna say it's because we had an inexperienced DC who never played call before. So if that's my feelings, that's the data, because he doesn't have the data. There's no data there. That's where I'm at with it. So that's what I'm trying to articulate. Okay, well, if I'm jinxing the team, then I'm sorry. Then I don't want to jinx the team. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying like that's the data. So I'm not going to jinx the team. I'm not going to say those type of things, but I'm just saying Kelly made a lot of mistakes, and he was very experienced. Like he had the most experience, and he made a lot of mistakes. I can only assume that somebody with no experience as a DC would make some mistakes as well. And I don't want to pay for mistakes. I don't want somebody that's going to learn on the job and we got to pay for his mistakes. That's it. That's all. All right. 3-9, Harry convinced me. Stop playing with me, y'all. 3-9? That's your prediction? Who would you rather have as a DC? Give me a list. Give me a list of the DCs. I mean, I'll do the math. I'll not do the math. I'll do the research. Give me a list of the DCs that were available that Coach Prime was choosing from, and I'll be able to go through and say, okay, I want that guy because he has more experience, and I know what we need right now is experience. All right, so I mean, there's a lot of pluses that you can take away. He's young. He has a lot to prove. He knows that he's going to be under the microscope, and you know what I'm saying? Like, let me ask you a question. Do young black guys get opportunities like this? This is a racial joke. I'm asking for a racist friend in my head. Do young black guys get opportunities like this? Like to step into a big role like this? Do young black coaches get this type of opportunity? I'm just asking for a racist friend. That's it. I know this racist guy that you know, he lives in my neighborhood. Sometimes he sits in my seat. He wants to know, do black guys ever get an opportunity like this? Like to step into a big role like this and to start their careers? Because for the most part, like I've always, whenever they're choosing like really young people with inexperienced young people, it's always this white guy. I don't know why. I wonder what it is. I don't know. White guys, they get the most experience. They get the most opportunities when they're young. People just trust them. Go figure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like even they can have experience and people won't even look at them. But for some reason, if I probably did the data, the guys that get the most, like the race that gets the most opportunities when they're young with no experience are mostly white guys. That's really something that's interesting to look at. That white guys, they can be unproven and they just get opportunities. Oh well, that's just me being, that's my racist side. Let me go away, wait, racist side. Complexion for protection. All right, guys. I'll see y'all on Friday. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I babbled a little bit. Sorry about that. I believe CP picks the best person regardless of race. Okay, that's cool. Oh, do y'all know if Eric Bieniemy was tapped to take Ron Rivera's spot with the Commanders? Was he hired as the head coach or no? Because I know Ron Rivera, he was cold, offensive coordinator and stuff like that. He was cold head coaching. Was he hired? Eric Bieniemy was fired? Oh man, that sucks. For those of you who don't know Eric Bieniemy, he's a Colorado guy. That's why I'm asking. He's a Colorado guy. He was a star. Oh, he's out. Oh wow. So you go from uh-oh. Um uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm coming for Wild Dog. Super Bowl experience? Kansas City Chiefs? He was a Super Bowl coordinator, right? He was a Super Bowl experience coordinator that went over to the Washington Commanders, my Washington D.C. team, and he couldn't cut it. That's interesting. He attended CU. He was a CU football star. What do you mean he attended CU? You putting it lightly. That's a CU football star. Every NFL radio role, you would get Solomon, you would get all of the CU greats talk about the fact that they had the Eric Bieniemys, they had Solomon, they had these guys. Like, come on, like let's put some respect on Eric Bieniemy's name, like for real. All right. 2 Super Bowls. Yo, the guy was the coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs on their Super Bowl runs. Like, come on. Yo. Anyways, if he was fired as a coordinator, I mean, yeah, that would have been nice to have him on to coordinate for CU. Maybe we didn't have the money. Maybe we didn't. That's true. All right, guys. So I will see you guys on the next show. I will see you guys on Friday. That is 12 o'clock noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I will see you guys then. You know what this is, guys. This is TLP Sports Club. Don't hate the fact that I have an opinion. I'm a CU fan. I'm a BWB. I'm a bandwagon buff, okay? Sometimes it gets a little harsh, but it's with reason, all right? I know you're thinking it too. You just hate to hear somebody on a microphone with 12,000 subscribers say it, like a big channel like mine with 12,000 subscribers say it. I get it, okay? So calm down. I think we're going to be fine. I think the students are going to be the players are gonna be his helpers. We got some really good players, so put your faith in the players and the fact that he's a good coach as a secondary guy, and we'll be fine. All right, see y'all on Friday. Salute, peace out, God bless.